beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe so you can join the fun and paint along, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Alright, so it is Christmas time, Santa is on his way, and I thought we would do an appropriate cookies for Santa painting today, making it really simple for any sort of family get-togethers or little paint and sips that you maybe have going on this holiday season. So I'm going to be using my 4 standard brushes as per usual in today's class. This is a kit that I recommend that comes with 4 sizes. Your brushes don't need to be these exact brushes, but they should be about the same sizes. So I have a square wash brush. This is a 3/4 inch wash brush. And then I have 3 pointed brushes with different sizes here. So I have a size 10, a size 3, and a size 3/0. Gonna get those in my water cup off the side of the screen. The colors that I have to start with today's background step, super simple. I just have some cadmium red, a little bit of burnt sienna, warm brown, some cadmium yellow, and a fair amount of white. To see a full materials list with everything that you need to paint along, check the description box below. There's a link to my website, and you'll also find in the description box the colors needed for today's tutorial. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in with our background step. All right, I'm going to grab my second to smallest brush. This is my favorite brush to do sort of like sketches and most details with. And what we're going to do is block out our whole composition first, and then we'll put a whole layer of color down for this first layer of paint on our canvas. So we're gonna start with doing sort of like a sketch, but with paint. I'm gonna grab some white, and then I'm going to sneak a little bit of brown into it. And we want a sugar cookie color here, which is why I have my yellow nearby as well, because we want a sort of sandy beige for our sugar cookie color. You could also do a gingerbread color. That would be really fun too, but I did have sugar cookies in mind with today's. So I'm going to do very light color here, and this is going to be the color that we're going to sketch with. So yours can be even lighter than this too, because we're going to need to adjust things likely as we go. And I'm going to start with sort of what I feel like is the focal point cookie, which is going to be my Christmas tree. We want to have pretty big cookies today. They're zoomed in a little bit on our camera. I'm going to start with a diagonal line like so. It's going to be the center of our Christmas tree, and then I'm going to do a T. And the way that I like to build these Christmas trees, recently I found out is a little easier, is we're going to make a triangle first, and then we can create these little subsections, additional triangles. So you see now we have like that tiered look. We could even do another one further up. You want them to come off the canvas a little bit, and then I'll come back and make my triangle a little bit wider down here as well. And then for the cookie shape, I'm gonna do a little base of the tree as well. So I'm just gonna be keeping the outside sketch lines here, and I can adjust my tree however I need to while I'm filling in what will be this tan color. And then we're gonna take our background color and bring it up around it. And then from this same center line, you can bring that a little further down, and then we'll create just a little rectangle. Super simple for the base. All right, give yourself some time to get that blocked out how you like. And again, we want to go on the big side. In this corner, I'm going to have just a circular shape coming off the side here, which I'm going to do a cute little peppermint spiral. But right now, I'm just going to block out this shape. And now this one was kind of tricky for me when I was trying to sketch and practice this before, we're gonna do a little stocking. And I wanna bring the toe part out, but not go too high up. So we're still kind of on a downward slope here with this line. And then we'll come round there for the toe part. And then I'm gonna do a little top part too for the fur lining. So there we have a stocking shape, and then our last shape right here, gonna do a beautiful snowflake. And the way that I like to do this snowflake cookie shape, instead of trying to go from the outside in, I'm gonna start actually with the snowflake itself. And the snowflake, I wish that it was 4, so we could go like that, and then, or I guess even more than that, but there's gonna be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, and you're gonna make kind of like an X, and then we'll do another line there through that X. Again, adjust as you need to. And we're gonna wanna have all of these points end at about the same distance outwards. But as we create our cookie shape, should be able to, again, adjust things. And then from this outside top point, I'm gonna do a little V. It's gonna come down like so, and it's gonna meet the other little shapes. And that is how we're gonna get our cookie shape. But again, we can adjust things if we need to. All right. So we're just going to now repeat those steps on every single little point. So you see it creates a little triangle up top, getting a nice cookie shape. By going from the inside out. Each one ending at about the same level, and they can get close to each other. That's okay. And you know how cookies are, sometimes they don't turn out perfectly, like the mold, the cookie cutter. So there's a little bit of handmade goodness to painting cookies, just like there is baking cookies. All right, that looks great. I'm going to grab a slightly larger brush now. I'm gonna use this guy, medium size, and I'm just going to mix up more of that same color. And we're going to fill our sugar cookies in now. A little bit of water always added into my acrylic paint. And we're just going to fill it into our outermost sketch line. And this is a second chance to adjust your cookie shapes. It can be really nice to step back from your art, your masterpiece, because we as artists tend to get too close to our own work. So during steps like this, when we are adjusting, take a literal step back, turn the painting around. You gotta put your hand on your chin, cock your head to the side, and go, you have to do that as an artist. You don't have to. It is helpful though. And think about your composition and if you want to adjust it. Okay, but those cookies are looking pretty good. I think I might end up needing a little more white. And I'm just like I would bake cookies. I'm just gonna start with the cookie base. And then we'll paint cookies just like we would decorate. And we'll have a fun, different design for each one of these cookies. All right. And when we are filling in our background color, we can even adjust things again if we need to. That's the thing about acrylic painting, is you can always let a layer dry and then go over it. And sometimes if the colors aren't similar enough, or one has a lot of coverage power, you can kind of adjust things while things are still wet too, which we'll do with our background color in a minute, which I'm going to use pink, which is pretty similar to this beige. Not too far apart on the color wheel. If you'd like to learn more about color theory, I do have a course on color theory called Color Theory 101, and it is available on Skillshare. If you need a refresher or if you never had it. But it also comes with time and practice. That's a really good refresher with some extra practice added in there too. All right, looking very cookie-like. And then of course our circular cookie is the simplest. But I love the peppermint spiral for Christmas time. It's just so iconic. Just enough of my color to get everything filled in. I might adjust things over here since things did get a little too close together. I'm gonna take this gorgeous vibrant red and mix up the rest of my white into it. We'll see if I have enough. I don't know if I do. So I want to do sort of like a medium pink, and I'm going to come right in here first and adjust my circle. So as you can see, I do have the ability to cover this tan color with the pink, because they're pretty similar. And we're going to fill our whole background in with this pink color, or with whatever background color you like. And in some of these tighter areas, probably grab my smaller brush and come in there and tidy things up a little bit. Like so. Again, we can now use this pink to adjust any shape that we need to. Making things a little bit more even, especially with this snowflake cookie. I really do feel like even the snowflake cookie cutter, cookie baking experience gets a little challenging to try to keep it all in one piece and get it on the baking sheet and then off the baking sheet. And it proves to be the same way in painting. This is our most challenging shape. Okay, doesn't look too bad. I think I need to thicken this guy a little, though. And then thin this guy up here. You can adjust yours as needed. Probably be a little bit different than mine, as always. Everybody's got their own style. Never worry about it looking cookie cutter. Pun intended. It's not gonna look exactly like mine or your neighbors if you're painting with friends. And that is part of the fun of it. Okay, it looks fairly good. We can adjust things a little bit later too if we do need to let things dry, but let me see if I can just adjust this a little bit. I'm bringing the pink in a little. Might need to let things dry a little, but not terrible. Okay. Going to grab my larger brush again, speed things up for some of these larger spaces now that I've gone through all those tight parts. We want to have a pretty even background, which is pretty easy to achieve on these nice canvas boards with a highly pigmented color like this pink. I am gonna need more white. So one moment, please. All right, back with a little more white. Just getting everything all filled in with this first coat. And this was the hard part too, is creating these shapes. And then we just get to decorate them. All right. And I do have some sort of tighter spaces here with my tree as well. So I'll probably go in there with my smaller brush too in a minute. But bringing the big brush where I can. Save a little bit of time, but take your time. We don't rush with art. Time is relevant. Sometimes. Our boot or stocking is pretty simple to outline there with our background color. Nice. We want a nice clean transition. Yeah, I think I need a little bit more control. Just evening things out as I go too, so I have a nice smooth background color. And now I'm just gonna grab my smaller brush again to come into these tight spaces. Very straightforward, but a little bit time consuming. And luckily nothing too crazy going on with our backgrounds today, so just getting everything filled in with that first important layer of paint and our important shapes blocked out. I am gonna need to do a little bit more adjusting with my snowflake. I can already see, because I stepped away to get more white, and I was able to see that it needed quite a bit of adjustments. So we'll visit that again right after our drying break. And again, since these colors are very similar, it should be not very challenging to adjust things still. So don't worry if your shapes aren't exactly how you like. There's always time to adjust things. And we will do that after our break. All right, and I think I can already tell I need a little more adjustment over here too. That helped though. All right, but yeah, we'll revisit our snowflake friend after break. Let's go ahead and step away now, and we'll let this first layer dry, and we'll come back and adjust things and get everything nice and decorated and cute. All right, I'll see everyone in a few. Okay, welcome back, artists. We have a completely dry background and a fresh piece of palette paper here with a rainbow of colors. I have black and white, I have some cobalt blue, a little bit of cadmium orange, phthalo green, cadmium yellow, and cadmium red. I rinsed my brushes and got some fresh water at break. I did already adjust my star here, or my snowflake, a little bit. Just the same as I was showing you guys before, what we were doing with just kind of taking the tan out and the pink in, depending on what you need and whatever your composition is looking like. Make sure that you've done that step too, because I want to jump right in now with the icing. So we have our cookies and they're baked, and now we're going to ice them. I'm going to grab my second to smallest brush for this. I'm going to start really simple, just with white icing. And I'm going to take this up into my circle, and I'm going to ice almost all the way to the edge. I'm going to leave a little gap. We want to try to have a nice clean edge where our icing ends. It'd probably be easier to ice cookies with proper paintbrushes. You have a lot of control, it's very nice. All right, looking good. Now you gotta think what colors you want your cookies iced. I'm going to do a light blue for my snowflake, of course. Seems fitting. And I'm going to take this icing almost all the way to the edge. And I am going to add a little bit of white into every color that I'm icing with, just because I'm going for sort of that more pastel look today, but you could do full vibrant colors too if you wanted. Okay, just like so. Leave a little bit of cookie edge so we can tell it's a cookie. It's always challenging to do actual cookie painting as well. I think painting with brushes for me is a little bit easier. And we're just gonna repeat those same steps all around our snowflake, filling that in with our blue colored icing paint. If you do end up using paintbrushes to decorate your cookies, make sure they're not the same ones. Acrylic paint is non-toxic, but don't tempt fate. Okay, all the way around, same color, just getting that base of icing now into our cookie shapes, very much looking like cookies already, if you ask me. I'm trying to make sure it's the same color all throughout. If you are painting along today, my favorite part of my day is to see your work. Love to see when you guys paint along. And I've created a Facebook group called the Art Club. It's free to join for all my students, and you can share your work with me there. There's a link in the description box below to join that too. And I also pin the materials list and the Art Club link in the comments section on nearly every video. Should be in every video, I try. All right. Pretty cute. Icing. Okay, looking good. My next icing color, gonna do some green. And I'm gonna just do just right out of the bottle, phthalo green plus some white. Just gonna come up top here. And I'm going to do these little inside sections. We can connect that too. Sometimes it's easier to sort of trace out everywhere you're gonna go, or you can paint it in as you go. Either way works. All right, and then we're just filling it in with our icing color. Very simple today. Okay, filling it in with my gorgeous phthalo green, my favorite color. Very minty, spearmint color. I don't know about you, but this painting is making me want Christmas cookies real bad. May need to go get some after this, but probably pre-decorated. All right, all filled in with green. Very cute. And then our little base, I feel like it should be a different color. I think I'm going to do gray. Just a little bit of black and white together, really simple. I'm gonna do a little dark gray box down here. Just like you would actually decorate cookies. All right. Very cute. I was thinking for our sock, an orange base color icing would look cute. I'm not going to bring it all the way up because I'm going to have a little bit of that white fur topping. Okay, I'm just going along the same shape. And again, these can be whatever colors you like. You don't have to follow along perfectly. I know it's paint along with Skye, but if you're feeling creative, I always want to support your creativity. Okay. I like the orange though. I was thinking pink, but we had pink for the background. So why not orange? So looking pretty tasty. Gonna grab a little bit of white now for the fur top. Painting just like we would ice our cookies. All right, looking good. All right, I'm realizing I want to add a little bit more shadow onto my cookies on the outside, and I actually don't want to use black. I need a little bit more burnt sienna. All right, I got a little bit more burnt sienna, this warm brown, our same cookie color from before. And then I also put a little bit more white on my palette too, since I just feel like I'm gonna need it. And I actually want to do a little bit more adjusting now that we have our icing, which is something that you can't do if this was an actual cookie. That was a little too dark. Some of these areas I want to go just a little bit further out. There we go. A little bit tidier. And then I do actually want to take a darker brown. Might even add just a tiny pinch of black into it. I'm going to do an outside edge of my cookie. That's going to make it look nice and clean. But I don't want it to be too thick of a line. It's just a little shadow. Okay, so if you need to take any more of a lighter beige, you can go in there and adjust that too. Just a little cookie edge. And I'm starting with my tree, but I'm gonna take this dark brown color all over. All right. You don't have to be very heavy-handed with it. If it's disjointed a little bit, that's okay. Just kind of taking that shadow color around each shape. And it's adding a little bit more dimension and just making it a little bit more visible. And take this opportunity again to adjust your cookie. This will probably be our last chance to adjust the actual cookie shape. And we will be mostly done. Home stretch here, folks. Hopefully your cookies are looking cute. Gotta get them really good looking to leave out for Santa. That's our tradition here in the United States, is we typically leave cookies out for Santa for all of his hard work and presents in. There's lots of different traditions all around the world, though, about what they leave out for Santa. So if it's something different, let me know in the comments section. I love learning about other people's traditions. Can't forget our little round sugar cookie friend. All right. And last guy over here is our little boot or stocking boot. Very delicious looking. Just a little bit of a shadow. Looking good. And then if you need to, can add any more light brown anywhere that might need it. In case you went a little too heavy-handed with that last pass. It's always sort of a back and forth with highlights and shadows. I like to tone things down a little bit often. Okay, looks great. All right, now the best part is, of course, our decorations. Most important. And I think we'll start up with our little spiral peppermint. So I still have this second to smallest brush, and I'm going to do a little curved line here from the outside coming in. And I'm going to do a sort of parallel line that tapers in so you have sort of a triangular shape. Okay, that's about the shape that we're going for. And then you are going to delicately fill that in with the red. Okay, and then you would have another one probably starting right about there. And then it would curve up like so, and then maybe just a little bit of one right there. It's important to go off the edge with these sort of macro food paintings. It's good for the composition. Looks interesting. And I'm going to have a second little just line going along that same curve. And it'll end out of that same area. Okay, super cute. That guy, maybe do a little bit of brown right where our frosting meets, but that was pretty slight. A little bit rough texture there. Let me smooth things out just a little bit. That's looking pretty cute. Definitely has that Christmas spiral feel. I'm going to take a little bit of a light green now. I'm going to work on my tree next. And before I decorate my tree, I'm going to do a couple little quick highlights just here in my green, like of this icing itself, right along the edges, just a few, just like so. And I'm going to do the same thing with my other guys too. So let's take a lighter blue and add a little bit of highlights here in some places. It's like the shine on the frosting. Cute. Okay, and then same idea for our orange. Kind of highlighting the little boot area. Very cute. And then of course we'll decorate our trees however we like, and our snowflake and stocking as well. I'm going to start with some white here in my tree, and I'm going to do these cute little garlands. Little curved brush strokes right on top of the highlight that I just added. And I do actually want this to be white rather than blending to the light green, but my green is a little bit wet still, so I might need to come back a little bit later and tidy that up, but for the most part I can get it pretty white. Okay. Just get to go crazy now and decorate however we like. I also have a gingerbread house painting that you might want to check out if you like doing these sort of decorative ones. All right, and I'm going to take some white here in my snowflake, and I'm going to find that original straight line that I started with. I got a little bit wonky. I'm going to try to find that first straight line. And the little X lines that we had as well. It's okay if things aren't perfect, especially with this stubborn one. It's all right. Still cute and would still be delicious. Trying to find some clean white. Not too bad. Pretty simple with this blue guy. Just going to find those straight lines again. And then maybe do a little couple V's on the outside. Like so, super cute. And these sort of whimsical touches, I think, really pull everything together and make things look super cute when maybe they're a little bit wonky. I'm gonna grab a little bit of blue here, and just while I'm here, I'm going to adjust this because I got a little too fat. Make that line a little skinnier. Very nice. So Christmassy. Okay, I think Santa would be happy to receive cookies like this with such care and attention to detail. I'm going to take a little blue, like gumdrop, put that right in the center. There, so cute. Then I'm going to go back to my tree. I'm going to take a little bit of bright red with just a pinch of white. I'm going to add some red bulbs, and this will get that nice red and green Christmas contrast with the colors. I'm going to go across the bottom first, creating just little circles. However many you end up with is fine, and then I'm going to go in between one layer up, and you'll end up with less there. This top layer, of course, and then the same idea. However many fit comfortably, depending how big your circles are. So that's 3. Cute. All right. Final guy over here. Let's take some pink this time. So just red and white together. I'm gonna do just some decorative lines, like stripes coming down the sock. And then I'm going to curve a little bit so I get towards the end. Really, whatever color you like, you can decorate it with. Let's do green. Gonna add a little bit of yellow to my green though, so that I get a slightly different green, just for fun. We're gonna add some polka dots onto our cute little stocking friend as well. A little bit too much water. Now that I've made that one big, I'm gonna go back and make the other ones big too. Always start a little smaller than you think you're gonna need to go. That way you can adjust things slightly. Pretty festive. All right, final touches. I like to take a little bit of white and I'm going to do little shine marks on my red, because maybe those are like candies that we've added into our frosting. Tiny little brush strokes. All of the little candies that we've just added. So added red candies. Gonna rinse my brush and add a little bit of a shine to my blue candy. And then I'll do the same for the green guys that I just added. If they're dry enough, it's okay to blend a little bit of color as you're adding these highlights. You just don't want to go from color to color. You don't want to go from red to green. Just gotta rinse your brush in between. Little highlights in each little candy button. Adds a very nice little final touch. Super cute. And I think we can take a little bit of black or like a dark gray and add a little bit more shadow on the outside of our cookies, just for a final nice little touch, and just so everything is nice and bold. And we can even make our cookies a little bit bigger or smaller with this final step too, if we need to. I think that just makes everything look nice and neat and tidy. Not completely necessary though, if you like the way it looks with just the brown. Okay. Stretch. Feel free to add any other adjustments that you might need on your painting as well. It is your original masterpiece, so it may need things that mine doesn't, or I might need things that yours wouldn't. Pretty cute. Yeah, I like it with or without the outline. Pretty cute though, either way. Okay. Well, those are pretty festive and Christmassy, if you ask me. I'd love to know what you thought of today's painting in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you over in the art club too, so make sure to join us over there. But that is all the instruction that I have for us this week. So have a very Merry Christmas. Don't forget to leave those cookies out for Santa. Maybe you can leave this painting out for him too. And make sure to join me over in the art club. That's all we have for today's tutorial. So until next time, happy holidays and stay creative.